We reached out to Coach Erik Miller to get some insight into a common but not always understood popular exercise, the deadlift. With COVID, our healthy minutes have taken on a whole new urgency. Chef Cindy McClure shows us how to make some gourmet variations on green beans. That and a whole lot more today. I'm Tonya Stroh, a certified personal trainer and healthy living expert. One thing I've learned is fitness isn't just exercise. Healthy living is more than working out and eating well. It's about balance. Don't force exercises that are boring. Don't eat food you don't like. Don't let fear hold you back. Life is about living on your terms. So we've put it all together on your and my Fitness RX. Erik, thanks for inviting us back to your home gym again.
Sure.
I always love to get your coaching advice on challenging exercises.
Yes.
So today, deadlifts.
Yes.
Real functional, but in the gym, a whole lot going on. Where should we start?
Okay. Well, first thing with the deadlift is you need to make sure that you have a good hinge. In the deadlift, you need to be able to flex at the hip while keeping your spine straight. So before you add any type of weight or anything like that, you should really have those mechanics down pat.
Okay.
So maybe talk to the trainer if you're not sure. Get yourself in front of a mirror, maybe get help from a coach. Get those things taken care of first before you head to the deadlift.
All right. Cues.
Okay, so the first thing, when you set up for a deadlift, generally it's done off the floor, but you can do a bunch of different variations of the deadlift. You can deadlift with a kettlebell if you're a beginner. You can deadlift from a rack so the bar is higher up off the ground, like we talked about before. If you can't flex at the hip while keeping your spine straight, a partial range of motion deadlift is probably right for you in the beginning, and then you can work your way down to the floor.
I've seen them up on steps as well.
Yeah, it's a good strength training exercise for certain people, but for like everybody else, that deadlift is just good for functional, general strength to help you get through life and your day.
So everyone should do them.
Yeah, if you have the ability to move through a full range of motion, it is a good exercise to put in your repertoire just to have general total body strength and coordination.
Now, grips. How do we hold the bar?
So most people, especially if you're just doing them for function, not for super heavy weight, you're going to use a double overhand grip. When you start to go really heavy in the deadlift or you want to challenge yourself to see how much you can lift, it might be advisable to do what's called a mixed grip. And generally in the mixed grip, you'll take your weak hand and put it under and your strong hand over. And you do this because when you hold a heavy weight like this, the bar will roll out of your fingers. But if you mix your grip, the bar can no longer roll, and it makes your grip a little bit stronger and you can pull more weight if that's what your goal is.
Interesting. And I just did that stronger hand just automatically for some reason.
Yeah, strong hands over, weak hand under.
All right.
Do you want to do a couple?
I will try a couple.
All right, cool. So when we set up, when we're all the way down to the floor, when you're ready for this exercise, walk your feet all the way into the bar. A common mistake from a lot of people is they leave the bar too far out in front of them, and it makes it feel heavier than it has to be.
Okay.
Like if you took a 10-pound weight and held it out here, it's much heavier feeling than if you held it against your body. Same deal here in the deadlift. Okay. So once you've established good placement with the bar over your feet, we're going to hinge back, doing those hinge programs that you should have downloaded into your system from your training prior to coming to the bar. We're going to grab our double overhand grip. Keep your chest up, and you're going to initiate the movement by pushing the feet through the floor.
Through the floor.
Yep, very good. Put it down nice and slowly under control. We don't want to bang the floor too loud. Okay, so if we can control on the way down, we want to do that too.
Okay, I was going to ask you about the negative.
Yes.
So slow and in control.
Yeah, you'll see people at the gym sometimes lifting a lot of heavy weight and they'll be dropping it and banging it on the ground.
Right.
But for general function, if we want to do this just to get more healthy and feel stronger, you want to control it on the way down.
How much bend in the ankles is necessary? Ankle flexibility is important.
It is. What's great about the deadlift, however, though, is you don't need as much ankle flexibility as you do in the squat. So if you're somebody who's limited in ankle flexibility, the squat might be a real problem for you. But because the shins don't come too far forward in the deadlift, this might be a better option for you to train your legs if you have a little bit limited ankle range of motion.
Now, a lot of times people are afraid that they're going to hurt their back. So go over where exactly we're supposed to feel the exercise when.
Okay, good. The deadlift is a total body exercise, and you will feel it almost everywhere. And then sometimes people do say that, oh, I feel in my back. Well, guess what? Those muscles are a prime mover of the exercise. So if your technique is good and you're holding position well, you may feel some pain in your back, as long as it's good muscular pain and not the damaging pain to your structure.
And plus that's where we need to strengthen.
Absolutely.
So one last question, Erik, weight. Where should we start?
I would start with, depending on who you are, obviously.
Yes.
Very
but a general rule of thumb.
Something that allows you to move in good form for all your reps.
Okay. Reps, how many? I said one more question, one more.
That's okay. As a beginner, sets of 5 are probably good to be able to hold your form, but as you get more advanced in the exercise, if the weight's manageable, you could do up to 15 or 20 if you're just doing deadlifts for fitness.
Okay.
But for strength training, to get stronger total body work, sets of 5 are probably generally advised.
Awesome. Erik, thank you again.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Now we're privileged to hear from the president and CEO of Pottstown Hospital, Richard Newell.
I'm really excited to report on a new service line that we have at Pottstown Hospital, and it ties into our outstanding outpatient physical therapy department that already exists. We've opened outpatient physical therapy and speech therapy services at the complex, which is the Pottstown YMCA location. And what's special about this location is we're focusing on neuro rehab, so concussion protocols and concussion therapy treatments. Also anything to do with Parkinson's disease and any vestibular rehab, which are areas that are often needed, but you have to travel long distances to get those type of therapies all the way down into Center City, Philadelphia. So very happy to report that those services are now available here in Pottstown with an outstanding therapy team. And within the world of Parkinson's, the LSVT, which has been a very effective treatment program for Parkinson's since the late 80s. It's called Big and Loud because Parkinson's will affect the muscle, the balance, and your energy for your big muscles, especially in your limbs, but also your speech patterns. And often patients with Parkinson's will start to develop a slur or difficulty speaking. So the LSVT program for Big and Loud is now being offered at the complex. Very effective and great teamwork between the physical therapy and the speech therapy teams.
Thanks so much, Rich. In these times of trouble, we took full advantage of our friends at Tower Health, Pottstown and Phoenixville hospitals, so we could provide pertinent, timely assurance about your health care. When we come right back, Chef Cindy McClure and some brand new ways to prepare good old green beans. Thanks for sticking around. Get ready for some good cooking, followed by Dr. Robertson and the safety of your medical records. Cindy, it is always good to be in your kitchen.
Thank you.
I'm excited today because we're going to spice up green beans.
We're going to show you different ways to fancy it up, and we're doing them fresh.
Love the fresh.
Okay. Let's talk about the green bean. It's full of vitamin C, vitamin K. It has chlorophyll. It is an antioxidant. Supposedly anti-aging.
We definitely need to eat more green beans.
Yeah, we definitely do that. And fiber as well. Yes, but my green beans that we serve here at the house traditionally are done with potatoes, olive oil, garlic, and red crushed pepper. One of the reasons that I like it so much is that you can use it with a protein. You've only got one pot for your vegetable and your starch.
Love that.
So,
time saving, easy.
yeah, easy and delicious and good for you. So, what we've done here is we've started off, we boiled our potatoes.
Okay.
And once they start, you start to see, feel it with your fork, it's nice and soft. It's okay if they get a little mashed. I prefer, once I'm done mixing it, that when the potato gets a little mashed and it goes in and coats the potato. It just makes it even more delicious because then it's almost like spaghetti. Like it's like a sauce that's holding on to the green bean. So you've got your olive oil, you've got your garlic, and you've got your roasted red pepper. So don't think if you like little perfect potatoes and you want it that way, that's great.
fine.
But if you don't, I like my way better where it gets mushed up together.
No, that sounds delicious.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drain these.
And
Okay,
it's good
and now
because it's hot.
Yeah.
It's already hot from
put
the
it all in there.
potatoes.
So we've got the garlic and the red crushed pepper. Okay.
Now, how long do we saute it?
Oh, geez, just about a minute.
Oh, you have the potatoes and the string beans mushed together.
Potatoes and the string beans are together. I'm going to show you 3 additional ways how to plate up your green beans.
So we have pork all ready to go. There's our protein.
Yep, we've got a little piece of pork tenderloin there, some mushrooms. Okay. I love that sound. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, stir that around. Stir it good.
Leave it on, or bring it over?
No, leave it on.
Okay.
Okay. And then
You're adding some salt and pepper there?
I'm adding some salt and pepper in there now. Okay. See how it's coating?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, put it in the bowl. Great.
Oh.
You want to zest that a little? We can find some.
Oh, there's some. A little bit more?
Yeah. See how pretty this green and yellow?
That is. And that was simple. That was not hard to make at all.
So
Even
if you
prep
get-
wasn't.
So if you get stuck, there you go. And you want to make sure if that you've got enough potatoes in there to accompany your protein. That's our first one.
Okay.
Okay, second, what we're going to do is we're going to take green beans. Okay, so what I have here, poured in here, I have some stone ground mustard.
Okay.
I have shallots, some
Scallions?
and some bacon, and some capers, and believe it or not, there's some sherry vinegar in here as well.
Oh my goodness, I can smell that. That smells delicious.
Okay, toss that around. All right.
So we're taking our original and then we're just adding to it.
We're just adding to it.
Oh, this is fabulous.
And the stone ground mustard is delicious with it. Now, you can serve this cold as well. Boil an egg, chop up an egg, and then serve it as a salad, as a green bean salad.
Easy to take to picnics and
The other
barbecues.
thing too is with this recipe, I like is that I think it's great when you're doing niçoise, a
Can I
niçoise
plate it?
salad. Yeah,
Are you, I don't know. You're gonna let me? Nah. We've got to make it look pretty.
Okay, here we go. Voila. And
Second way.
That's our second. All right. Now we're going to go for a little additional Italiano style. And we are going to
Tomatoes.
Okay. Some Lugatelli cheese.
My favorite. Bacon
And
bits.
some toasted breadcrumbs.
Oh, toasted bread. I thought they were bacon bits. I love this, Cindy. These are fantastic ideas.
And here's the other thing too. It's not just for us meat eaters, it's also great for vegetarians. Okay, now, because you've got green and white. How about you pour that in here? And I sauteed those just a little bit.
And this is peppers and...
It's red and yellow peppers and some scallions. And to give it color, especially, I like doing this at Christmas time. When you add the red pepper, it really makes it pretty.
Oh, so nice, Cindy.
Yeah. So
All right.
oh, okay, I got to. All right.
So which one is your favorite?
This the plain old garlic.
Plain old garlic?
Yeah, yeah. So there we go. We got a nice, lovely color here, and I can smell the peppers.
Yes.
I don't know if you can
Yes.
or not. So it's not there just for color. It's also there for flavor as well.
One question that I often get is, how do your doctors or your team in the hospital share medical information with my primary care team or my specialists? And the easy answer to that is the electronic medical record. This is sometimes referred to as the EMR, and it's a great technological advancement that has enabled providers to communicate across many platforms and many specialties. One of the things that we used to do would have been a lot of mailing hard copies, faxing things over. Phone calls obviously have always been in place, but as you can imagine, those sort of slow down the transition of information. And in a field where sometimes seconds, minutes, and hours count dearly, speed and efficiency are very important. So if you're concerned that your provider doesn't have the same electronic medical record as the hospital that you just visited, well, you can rest assured that even with different electronic systems in place, most of these systems now, in fact, everyone that I've ever seen, can talk to each other very efficiently. So your provider can always find out the lab information, the tests, the diagnostic imaging that you've gotten in your last hospital stay, and vice versa. In the hospital, we can see those tests that you've done on the outpatient side.
Thanks, Dr. Robertson. When we come back, the importance of well visits. Dr. Shah, thank you so much for being here with us today. Can you walk me through a woman's well visit?
Sure, thank you so much for having me. A woman's well visit exam is really a great opportunity for a gynecologist to connect with her patient in order to go over a comprehensive history and a focused physical exam in order to provide the best preventive healthcare strategies available to her.
So what are some of those standard exams that you do?
So at the well-woman visit, we usually go over a very comprehensive history, including a personal history, a medical history, a surgical history, a social history, and a family history, and her history of menstrual cycles, as well as her obstetric history. And then I usually collaborate with my patient in order to determine what her needs and goals are in order to provide a focused physical exam. And it's based on her risk factors, age-based risk assessment, and exams, and involves pap smears and clinical breast exams as well.
So now there may be some confusion as to at what age we should have certain exams. Can you walk me through that?
Sure. Usually it's recommended to start to establish care with a gynecologist early on. We provide preventive health care to women of all ages, right from adolescence through their reproductive ages, as well as when they're transitioning into menopause and beyond. So establishing care early on in the teenage years really is advisable and beneficial. It involves just a very comprehensive history and an exam with a focused exam as a shared decision making with the patient. So it necessarily doesn't mean anything invasive. It's more risk assessment, strategizing future plans for a healthy lifestyle.
Which that makes so much sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you had mentioned that middle-aged women tend to not tell you different things because they're like, oh, it's just because I'm getting old. What are some of those things that we should definitely talk to you about?
Yes, absolutely. So I have seen a lot of women hesitate to speak about their sexual health, or they also don't realize that a lot of their menstrual irregularities or problems with menstrual cycles could be related to an underlying condition that is easily treatable or might need further evaluation in order to determine future plans of care. So I think a lot of women attribute that to just growing older.
Just old age.
So I strongly recommend that they bring that to the table, discuss it with their gynecologist in order to get the comprehensive care that a gynecologist can provide.
Open and honest, even if we don't think it's important, it really could be.
So true, very true.
So now you obviously screen the major tests, but you screen for so much more in those visits. What are some other things?
Yes, I think a gynecologist can be your point of contact and be able to provide the holistic care that women need at all ages. So there's an age-based risk assessment that we do in the form of a comprehensive history. And one great example would be a family history. So the family history can be used as a risk assessment tool to screen patients who are at risk for cancer, which would potentially allow them to see a genetic counselor in order to go through genetic counseling or testing or both, and then evaluate themselves and provide for further preventive strategies that might be indicated.
That's wonderful. So it's really important that we get our well visits.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
I'll be right back with our exercise of the week. We'll get your biceps in fabulous shape with preacher curls. I want to thank all my guests today for a great start to our 8th season. In the coming weeks, we're going to visit with the Wildwood Beach Patrol, go surfing, learn how to build parallettes to work out on, visit with our doctors at Tower Health, do some fabulous cooking, learn about the vagus nerve and how to calm it, go kiteboarding, and even go to the theater. We have lots of great tips from our team of experts and professional coaches, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Tanya Stroh. Here's your exercise of the week. It's preacher curls. Thanks for the demo, Lisa. Be fit, be healthy, be happy.